Good morning. Whew. I know it's early. It's early on Saturday morning. It is 8:24 a.m. my time. So I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and you all know I'm fresh in the morning. And I just wanted to jump on real quick. I'm not going to make this too long, I promise, because I don't have a whole lot of time. But I want to talk a little bit about, and I'm going to, let's see if I can. Okay, there we go. The sun is out here, you all. This morning, the sun is out here. Good morning. But I want to talk a little bit about the importance of doing the work, because I have some clients that I am scheduled to, have the talk with. And you all are wondering, what's the talk? The talk is where there is no progression, there is no improvement. Like, we've been at this too long, and I am going to, let them know that I won't be continuing with them. They're going to be referred to someone else. I'm going to give them a list of people that they can, if they want to, we want to keep coming. Okay, well, I'm going to give you someone else, because we've been at this for a while. You've been coming here for 7, 8, 9 months, a year, maybe longer. I normally don't see people longer than a year. That's just my personal boundary, that if you're not progressing, if you're not making some serious strides in your development or your improvement or your healing, I then say, okay, well, I might not be the person for you. I might not be the best fit for you. Like, this is ineffective, us working together. And I don't have a problem with telling people that, okay? Well, I might not be the person for you. Like, it doesn't hurt my ego or anything like that. However, for me personally, and this is what people don't quite understand, that yes, there's a human being on the other side of therapy. And for me personally, I do this because I want to help people. I do this because I want to see people grow. I want to see progress in their life. I want to help people be the very best version of themselves. Like, I want to be a part of healing the world at large. And this is just a small way in which I do it. And so, if people don't get better, so here's the biggest reason why people don't get better. Let me be honest. People don't get better because they don't do anything outside of coming into my office and sitting on my couch. They come in, they sit down, we talk, they may talk, a whole lot. They share their story. They may be caught in a cycle, so they'll come back week after week, kind of talking about the same thing over and over. And then I kind of, break that cycle. I kind of put a spoke in that wheel and say, okay, now let's talk about moving forward. Let's talk about what that's going to look like. Let's talk about what it looks like to forgive. Let's talk about what it looks like to set boundaries. Let's talk about what it looks like to, recover from codependency. Like, I try to move people forward. And some people just don't want to come forward. They don't want to go forward. They just don't. So I'm like, okay, we've reached the point where, it's going on a year, and now I'm frustrated. Like, I'm frustrated by the lack of progress. So I'm like, you know what? I may not be the best fit for you. I may not be the best person for you. And then I refer those people out. And so this month I've gone through my caseload, and I've kind of looked at things and said, yeah, I got some people on the chopping block, and I need to have that conversation with them. Well, the reason why I'm telling you all this and bringing this up to you is, this is the point I want to drive home, that we're always on a journey, right? We're always on that journey of becoming the better version of ourselves. I'm still on that journey. I'm still reading. I'm still listening to things, looking at videos. I'm doing classes and doing my CEUs and learning new information. Oh my gosh. Sometimes when I'm sitting in a course or a class or something, and I'm like, man, I was today years old when I found out this. like I'm still learning. There's still things that I don't know, that I have not learned. And the type of person that I am, I mean, that's who I am. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to grow. I'm excited to be better and to apply. So here's the whole point of this little talk, to apply what I'm learning. And I have folks, in my practice and my coaching business, that they're just not applying what they're learning. They're hearing the same thing over and over and over, but they're not applying it. They're not applying the boundaries. They're not applying the codependency skills. They're not applying okay, sit down, be with yourself, focus on yourself. And I don't ever promise you all that therapy is going to be pain-free. It will hurt. Like I tell people that on the first appointment. So this is going to hurt. And it may hurt for a little while, right? A lot of people have these open infected wounds, and when they come into me, I have to cut it open clean. I have to, clean it out, rinse it out with some peroxide and some antibacterial something, iodine or whatever. I have to clean all that crap out. And then I have to close it up. I have to delicately stitch it up because I don't want there to be too visible of a scar. I have to put, some antibiotic ointment on it and put a bandage on it. And we're gonna let it do what it do. It's gonna time, right? So time is part of the therapy process too. Time is going to heal that wound, as well as what we just did, and you making sure you're not picking that wound, you're not taking the bandage off of it, you're not getting it dirty. That's it. Like there ain't no magic formula but that. And so many people just not applying what they're learning. They're not actively. So it's what I call, you are passively in therapy. And that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. This new age thing going on now, especially this year. So it's funny because in the last 5 years, I can pick out for each of those years what the thing was. What was the thing for that year? And y'all went through a narcissism year. You went through a narcissism phase where everybody was a narcissist. This year, the theme is therapy. Everybody's in therapy. Everybody's going to therapy. Everybody should go to therapy. That's the theme this year. Everybody needs therapy, and you need to go sit on somebody's couch and this and that. Okay, let me give y'all this piece of knowledge. There are lots of people doing that because it's in style. It is what's in vogue right now. But a lot of those people doing that, they are having passive therapy. They think because they go somewhere and sit down and talk and, okay, that's my story, and they talk about that over and over and over, that's going to actually, bring about some change. No, it's not. Okay, it's not. You're going to leave that office 6 months, a year later, the same. And I have had clients be stuck in that spot. So that's why I say, y'all, I'm going to get some coffee. And y'all gonna have to, come along with me while I get some coffee. They're stuck in that spot. They have not moved. And then I have clients of mine that have, oh my God, they have grown by leaps and bounds. Like their life is total. I have one client, y'all, I kid you not. I met with her yesterday. Her life is a 180 difference. Like she is completely different than when she came in. Completely different. And that just, this just makes my heart smile. I just feel so good because I'm like, wow, just knowing I was a part of that. And she said that, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much. You were a huge part of my healing and my growth and my development. Yeah, that floats my boat. But sitting across from somebody for a whole year and they still with their toxic, boyfriend or girlfriend, they still getting cheated on or cheating, they still, drinking, using, partying or whatever. I mean, nothing has changed. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, a whole year. And I'm not going to say the time was wasted, but it's like, what's happening? Like, what is this for? So no, we have got to do better. You've got to be an active participant in your therapy. Not a passive participant. But anyway, so the client I saw yesterday, she said, yeah, my friend, I think she's got an alcohol problem. She's just been in this toxic relationship for 10 years. And she says she goes to therapy. What's happening? I said, I'm going to tell you what's happening. That's not shocking me. That's not shocking me. You know how many people I know, excuse me, who go to therapy and they are passive in their therapy? Do you know how many people that go to therapy that lie to their therapist? That's the thing. That's the thing, y'all. I've had people try to do it. I've had people try to come in and lie or omit the truth. And then, because I'm gifted to do this, I confront them. I call them out. I say, I just believe that there's more to the story. Like, I sure do. I sure do. You talk about an uncomfortable conversation. I say, yeah, I'm just feeling like there's something missing. There's more to the story here, And what do you mean? And this and that, and da. Yeah. And then I do what I do, because I'm gifted to do this. And either they stop coming. Okay? That's a very real response. It's too uncomfortable. They stop coming. Or I crack them wide open, and then the real work begins. But honestly, it's a thing. You can sit on someone's couch, you can lie, or you can, stay stuck and not do a thing outside a session. Like, I've had people do that with me, where they come every week, every 2 weeks, but they don't do anything. Nothing changes. They don't apply anything I teach them. Yeah, and that's not the practice that I want to have. That's why I went into private practice, because I had a very specific type of client that I wanted to work with. And the clients that want to stay stuck, they want to stay in their pattern. Okay. And I always tell people, this is not a judgment. You are allowed to stay that way until you die. You just can't come in here. Like, you can't come here no more. Like, okay, that's my boundary. So, yes, I know therapy is in vogue. I know it's the thing to do. But I need you to understand that if you're not actively participating in your healing, in your growth, and that means you're going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to drag you out of the most comfortable place that you're in and ask you, it's like throwing you in a cold shower. And guess what? If that's going to get you to the healthiest part of you, then you do it. And y'all, let me tell y'all, I hate being cold. Everybody knows it. I hate being cold. I hate cold showers. I hate jumping into the pool when it's cold. I hate being cold. But sometimes it is necessary. Like, I even recognize, what? Let me do this. It's necessary. It's necessary for our growth. So if you are wounded, if you are in a negative, toxic cycle with someone, if you are struggling with things from the past, if you're suffering from any form of abuse, sexual abuse, narcissistic abuse, physical abuse, okay? The path to healing is not linear. It's going to take you in a lot of directions. It's going to hurt. Okay? Because I don't lie to people. Oh, this going to hurt. Like, this going to hurt. This going to be uncomfortable. I tell people, it's going to be uncomfortable. Now, that level of uncomfortability, that level of pain will vary depending on what we're working on, depending on the person. It depends. But I don't lie. It's going to hurt. And the idea is that if you're an active participant in your therapy, it's going to hurt less and less and less. You're going to start feeling better and better and better. And if you apply what you're learning, if you apply the skills that you're learning, you're going to get. So that's what I wanted to share. I know a lot of people are running into therapy. A lot of people are, we all should have therapy, and everybody's running into therapy. But I'm going to keep it real. If you're not ready to do the work and to apply the things you're learning outside of session, like, don't waste that therapist's time and don't waste your time. Like, go in and be motivated to change. Like, really be motivated to change. And those are the clients that I want to work with. I'm going to be honest with you all. My practice at the end of the year, it will turn into a direct pay practice only. because I want to work with clients that are motivated to change. And the number one way, I mean, it's going to sound awful, but the number one way to know that they're motivated to change is they're willing to put their money where their mouth is, literally. Okay? Ain't no insurance. Okay? You're going to pay for this out of your pocket. And if you keep coming and you keep fighting with your spouse in session, I kid y'all not. I had people that just come to the session just to scream and fight and argue with each other, and then they just leave and nothing changes. Then they come back 2 weeks later and do the same thing. Okay, so if you want to do that with your spouse and you want to pay me $150 an hour to do that, you know what? That's your money going toward this service. And even then, I'm going to eventually say, look, this is not the place where you come to argue every week or every 2 weeks. Like, I'm eventually going to confront them too, but I'm going to be paid well to do that. And there's some clients that, if their insurance is paying for it and they have a $10 copay, they're not motivated to change. They're not motivated to do anything different. They're like, yeah, this isn't costing me financially. Yeah, I spent an hour in here, whatever. But you have to do the work. And there is work outside of session. So when I give you a book to read, when I give you a podcast to listen to, a YouTube video to watch, I give you a book on audio. I have so many resources. I send things through my online portal. So I send like worksheets and journaling prompts. Like, I really put my people through their paces. And when I send you that stuff and you come back and you're like, oh, I didn't get it. I didn't do it. I didn't download it. I didn't have a chance to watch it. Oh, I didn't listen to it. Then I know I'd be like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, what are we doing? And that's a part of the process. And you have to make time for it. You have to make time for your healing. And it's worth it. I want you to believe that it's worth it for you to take time, either every week, every 2 weeks, and then you're going to take time outside of the office to do that work. It's so worth it. Trust me, you all, it's so worth it. And if it's a relationship issue, your partner is going to love it. If it's with your kids, your family members, your friends at work, everybody benefits from your healing. I want you to believe that. That's why it's so important that you do your healing, because everyone is going to benefit. Everyone in the world is going to benefit from a better you. Believe that. That's my message. That's why I do what I do. And a huge part of why I do what I do here on Instagram and on YouTube with my dating and relationship coaching is I know that is the cornerstone. That's the cornerstone of us having the best life we can have, is being in love, having a good partnership or relationship, having a good romantic relationship, improving our relationships with our children and our family members, our friends. Like, that's the cornerstone of us having a really great life. Making money, making good money, all of that is at the cornerstone of that is our healthy relationships, our good relationships. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, I'm going to run in here and get me some coffee, and then I'm jumping in to my first session at the practice. I will be in session until 1 today. So if you are in therapy, if you're thinking about therapy, I really want you to, you got to know that you've got to do the work outside of therapy, and be honest with your therapist. Don't lie. Don't come in there and make it seem like, oh, everything's great. It's not that bad. No, it's bad. Like I've been to therapy. The therapist has a therapist. Gosh, I have been in and out of therapy since I was 22. And therapy is not meant to stay in forever. It's meant to come, get skills, apply them, feel better, do better, leave. Something else come up, you go back, you talk through it, you get skills, you apply it, you leave. Like, that's how that formula is supposed to work. You're not supposed to be in therapy for no 5 years. When people call me, and I kid you not, when people call me and they say, yeah, I've been in therapy for the last 5 years, and my last therapist, she's retiring, or she's decided that I need to see someone else. No, I'm not taking you on. I'm not doing that with you. Because if there's nothing for you to work on, or if you're just using therapy as a crutch, no, that's telling me you're not doing any real work. If you've been in therapy for 5 years, you're not doing any work outside of therapy. And I'm gonna be honest, that's not the client that I want to work with. You're not motivated to change and grow. You've got to be self-motivated to change and grow. Your life has to be so messed up that you're like, Anita, I'll do anything. I'll do anything. Tell me what to do. I'll do anything, right? Those are my people. Those are my people that I love working with. And they get better. They actually leave their ego outside the door and they get better. So, y'all, be real with your therapist. Tell the truth. Don't lie. Go in there, do the work. Y'all, my throat. I have had a yucky throat for about a week now. My voice, everyone's like, what's wrong with your voice? I don't know. Something's going on with my throat. But do the real work, okay? Do the real work outside of therapy. Tell the truth inside of therapy. All that's going to help your healing and your process and your growth. Thank you for coming. If you came in on the end, I want you to check out the replay and have a wonderful day. And as always, stay open to love.